Ding dong, the witch is dead.
We think that Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah, ooh.
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah, and I could not be happier.
I will not ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
Fucking stoked right now. You wanna know why I'm so fucking stoked?
He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights.
His wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids. They need to go too because they're carrying on that mentality and that lineage. Like, get rid of the whole family. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why did you guys stop with him? Why did you stop with him? Go get his grandma. Because who raised you? Like, your mom ought to be ashamed for breaking scum like you. Get rid of the whole family. Y'all too scary for revolution. Y'all too scary for progress. Like, y'all want results without putting in the work. You're going to have to take out trash to get a clean house. Like,
look, I mean, we have to be disciplined in how we advocate for dialogue and free speech. If a young student finds disagreement with a conservative or somebody on the right, they don't just find the ideas objectionable. Some, in fact, a majority by a recent Pew poll, want to use force to try to silence and stifle and even censor those differing ideas.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to a brand new video. It has been quite a week. So it's been a full 4 days since Charlie Kirk's assassination, murder. And a lot has happened in 4 days. A lot. I wanted to really take time to just kind of gather information before making a video since my last long form video when I was reacting to first hearing about his murder, because as you know, information comes so quickly. Some of it is false, some of it is true, some of it is still being verified, and I didn't want to come out here and give you guys false information or speak on things that would end up not being true after the fact. So I wanted to just wait, just take a breather and wait. While waiting I've of course been online just to get a sense of the tone of what's happening online, because that kind of gives you a pulse of what's happening in the rest of the country. And my God, if what I'm seeing is just 25% of the feelings of this country, we are in deep trouble. It's been disheartening, and I've had to sit back and ask myself, why is this so disheartening, right? Like, I'm just been in self-reflection mode. And I think what I've come to the conclusion is the reason why this is hitting me so hard, harder than anything else that I've ever experienced or seen in my life, is because this is the first time that we were able to see someone being executed in real time, close up. And many of us, unfortunately, happened to see the video of Charlie being murdered up close. This has not been seen on TV because it's too graphic, but about an hour after he was killed, reports were coming out. People were posting things unfiltered online. It takes a while for platforms to kind of get a sense of what to take down. And I accidentally saw a video of Charlie Kirk being killed up close and personal. And many of you probably saw it as well, so you know what I'm referring to. It was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. The moment I saw it, I almost dropped my phone. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I kept telling myself, this can't be real. I knew the moment I saw that footage that he passed away. There's no way he could have survived. There's just no way. And at this point in time, the media was still saying he's in stable condition, he's in the hospital, they're trying to revive him. I'm just like, to see that amount of blood being poured out of someone's neck, it would have been a miracle. And I think that's why this is hitting me so hard, because unlike other deaths, normally we just hear about it, we don't see it. Normally it's so-and-so was killed at this event and everybody's like, oh my God, that's horrible. Some people don't care. They're not empathetic. And not that that's okay, because everyone should be empathetic when you hear about any type of death, no matter who the person is. At least for me, that's my standard. But this is different because for the first time, we actually saw an execution up close. And many people who are now posting, celebrating, dancing, being hateful towards Charlie Kirk and his entire family, a lot of these people, I guarantee you, saw the same video that I saw, the same one. So the reason why this is hitting me so hard as far as the reaction of others who are just hateful is because how could you possibly see what I saw and not have a shred of empathy? I don't care what he believed. To see another human being die in such a horrific way, and you're making memes about it and making t-shirts and laughing and posting about, I don't care, good, he deserved it, making jokes about his neck, That's such a level of depravity and wickedness I just can't even wrap my head around. But I feel like that may be why God allowed us to see what we saw. Charlie Kirk could have been killed off camera in a plethora of ways because he was a public figure who was well known. As we see from the reaction around the world, he was well known. He could have been killed in any other arena that would not have been seen on camera or caught in time on camera. But we were able to actually see the death up close and personal. God allowed us to see the death up close and personal for a reason. And I believe that reason is to reveal the hearts of man, the hearts of people, how dark people's souls truly are. You know, I saw a quote the other day that said, if you had a reaction to Charlie Kirk's death and it's been bothering you, it's been eating you up inside, you can't sleep, it's just horrific, you can't concentrate, congratulations, you are an empathetic human being that has a heart. Now, if you have an opposite reaction, God help you. And we're seeing it in full display. Full display. People literally having no care in the world. No care in the world. I posted a video in the intro of that woman saying that Charlie Kirk's wife, children, even his grandmother should be next on the hit list because, you know, they're just like him or they raised him. She posted a follow-up video because she got a lot of backlash, as she should. And in her follow-up video, she literally admits that she didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. She only saw clips of things that he said, and she was basing her opinion on that.
Here's the thing. You guys are like way too invested on the daily basis. Mind you, I just found out about this man. But what I found out in the little time that I have is like so insanely like crazy.
Which is crazy to me, right? Because we know that liberals love to take quotes and just throw them out there and see what sticks. Being out of context is the new news, unfortunately. Now, I don't need to sit here and tell you guys why Charlie Kirk wasn't a racist, why he wasn't a white nationalist, why he wasn't a Nazi, why he wasn't a hateful person, for a plethora of reasons. You guys already know. If you're watching this video, you know who Charlie Kirk was, so I don't need to defend him in that way. But it's just sad because in almost every quote that I've seen that liberals have been posting or reposting about him, claiming that he's a racist, you see, look, it's all out of context stuff. Or you didn't hear the full conversation or the full question that he was answering. You just are jumping to his quick soundbite that makes him sound like a racist. Now, we know the left is triggered by everything. So it doesn't take much for a leftist to be triggered by any quote, much less a person like Charlie Kirk, who was unfiltered, like myself, and tells it like it is. All this information that's coming out now about the killer, Tyler Robinson, and who he is, and now it's coming out that Tyler Robinson actually was dating a trans individual. Now, if you remember in the beginning, reports were coming out that this person may have been a trans activist because Charlie Kirk was shot during a trans gun violence question. So a lot of people were wondering, did this person have any ties to the trans community? And of course, the left was like, absolutely not. The moment that the killer's face was seen, the first thing that was said by many people on the left was, you see, not trans, now what? Well, it turns out he was dating a trans person or living with a trans person. And we can assume if he was living with that person, they probably were together. And that's what's really killing me about the left right now is the fact that they are trying to distance themselves so hardcore from this extremist and trying to convey that, oh, he was a conservative. He grew up in a conservative house. He grew up in a conservative neighborhood. He grew up in a conservative state. So therefore, he must have been indoctrinated by conservative, propaganda. Let me tell you why that makes zero sense in this case. It's very clear that this individual was radicalized. Now, if a person gets radicalized by, let's say, a cult movement or ISIS, a terrorist movement, most likely that person is going to change who they are, which means how they grew up, their family structure, their core values and morals goes out the window and they change to a different person outside of their family and how they grew up. So people saying, oh, his dad was a MAGA, his mom was MAGA, his family was MAGA, his family was conservative, so therefore he must have been. No. See, in this case, even if he grew up in a conservative household, he clearly was being indoctrinated and radicalized by an opposite ideology, which is why his family is telling the FBI he changed. He was different. He started spewing left-wing talking points. He hated Charlie Kirk. He was becoming so left-wing in his views and his opinion. So that would lead me to believe, a person with common sense, that clearly he must have been radicalized. And that's why he did what he did. I mean, if his actions, killing a prominent, influential conservative activist, if that wasn't proof enough that he probably is a liberal or probably is Antifa or probably is radicalized, I don't know what is. Because what conservative with values and morals is going to kill Charlie Kirk? Make that make sense. What makes sense is this person clearly was radicalized. We don't know why. Could have been because he was dating a trans person and felt like Charlie Kirk was against trans people, so therefore he was against him, and it just made him angry. We know that he was on Antifa web pages, so who knows what was infiltrating his mind? Who knows? Who freaking knows? But what we do know is this person was radicalized. And seeing people on the left trying to gaslight us and trying to tell us that even though what we see is so clear as day, we just don't know. He could have been right-wing. He could have been a right-wing extremist. It just doesn't fly, in my opinion. We're going to get more information, I'm sure. You know, we're still in the early stages of this investigation. I'm sure more things will come out that's going to reveal more. That's going to make us understand exactly what happened, why it happened. Was he working with somebody else? Like, how did this even occur? And as it comes, you guys know I'm going to report about it. You know, somebody posted on X that we shouldn't pay attention to what's happening on social media because social media isn't real. It's not a real lens on what's happening. But I disagree. Completely. I think social media tells you exactly what's happening. It gives you exactly the pulse of what's happening in the country because people on social media are posting most of the time unfiltered thoughts, unfiltered opinions, and you're getting an unfiltered perspective on people who feel like they have nothing to lose. When you have nothing to lose in your mind, you say whatever you want to say. What we're seeing from people on the left, on the extreme left, is what we have been saying for years. These people are unhinged. Charlie Kirk's entire mission was speaking to people who thought differently than him.
We have to be disciplined in how we advocate for dialogue and free speech. And when I go to these college campuses, it's come very clear, and you see this now manifesting in some of the larger censorship regime that is taking over the West, that if a young student finds disagreement with a conservative or somebody on the right, they don't just find the ideas objectionable. Some, in fact, a majority by a recent Pew poll, want to use force to try to silence and stifle and even censor those differing ideas.
Fight with your words, not with your hands, not with weapons. And here you have liberals who are celebrating his death. People who are so tolerant, who are so, anti-war and pro-peace are now advocating and enjoying seeing, not just hearing about it, but seeing a death, an execution. In my opinion, those people have lost the moral high ground. They lost everything. You can no longer come to me screaming pro-Palestine stuff. You can't do it. You can't. Because you lost your credibility. You can't scream that you're passionate because people are being killed and you hate murder and you hate war and you hate violence. But here you are seeing a person who was violently killed and you're celebrating. You're celebrating it with glee because that's your revenge. But what that tells me is that your whole platform of peace and anti-war is bullcrap. It has no foundation. None. Because if it did, and you truly were a peaceful person, you will be consistent in that thought across the board, regardless of who is the recipient of the violence. But because you hate Charlie Kirk, because you hate conservatives, because you hate Republicans, because you hate his movement, because you hate the fact that he was able to have influence over the president, and he was articulate, and he was influential, because you hate that, he should die. Is that not the most fascist behavior you've ever heard of? But we're the fascists, right? And also notice the difference. Charlie Kirk was murdered, executed in front of our faces. Nobody is protesting. Nobody is burning down cities. Nobody is attacking other civilians physically. Nobody's looting stores. No violence. You know what people did when they found out that Charlie Kirk was dead? They prayed. Now ask yourself, what was the reaction when George Floyd died? There's a vast difference between how the left responds and how the right responds. We fight back with our votes. They fight back with violence. Anyway, guys, I'm going to continue to report on this case because I'm just passionate about it. Like, I feel like this has awakened me. Like, prior to this happening, I kind of was falling back from YouTube. I wasn't posting as much. I wasn't as active. I wanted to be active, but I just was finding myself kind of in a rut, honestly. Charlie Kirk's murder has awakened a fire in me that I can't stop speaking now. I can't. Like, I have to use my platform. I have to speak out. I have to continue his message. I have to continue to fight the good fight because we can't sit back and let these people silence us. We can't. I don't care how big, how small your platform is. Please, I urge you, speak. Post your videos. Give your opinions. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Let Charlie Kirk's legacy and how he behaved, let that be an example for us. Because Charlie Kirk was the kind of person who would go to the Lion's Den. He would go to the people who were the same ones that are dancing about his death. If he were alive, he would be engaging with them and having conversations with them and giving them a mic and saying, why do you feel that way? Let's talk about it. That's who Charlie Kirk was.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assault. The left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats.
Okay, so what's your goal in all this?
There's more people that agree with me than some people would actually believe, and they come out of the woodwork when I do stuff like this. We record all of it so that we put it on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens, because you start to think the other side is so evil and they lose their humanity.
And I think it's our responsibility, if we're going to carry his legacy, to do the same. Let's talk. Let's make videos like this. Let's have a conversation. I could be hateful right now. I could be, trust me, I'm angry. I'm very angry. I've woken up every single night since his death with nightmares because I see how he was killed replaying in my mind. I know that I've been traumatized. I know that. And my way of dealing with that is by just making videos and talking about it, and it's helping me. If I didn't have this, I don't know what I would be doing. So trust and believe I'm angry. But rather than responding with vitriol and giving the same energy that the left is giving us right now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to breathe. And I'm going to speak like this. Because this is more effective than me screaming and yelling and saying, I hope you... That does nothing. This is far more effective. The reason why Charlie Kirk was so effective is because he spoke. He didn't fight. He spoke. And now there are a million Charlie Kirks being born because of this. So you thought by killing him, you were going to kill his movement? Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video, what you think of the current events. How have you been coping with the news? I want to know how you guys are just dealing with this emotionally and mentally, because this is draining. This is hard. It's very difficult. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say you're angry as well. It's okay to be angry. But let's not stay in that anger and let that anger eat away at us, because we don't want to be like those people who are posting videos of Charlie Kirk dancing and singing. We don't want to be those people, ever. And just know that I'm here, guys. I'm here for you. And I hope that my platform and my videos are helping you to deal with this tragedy and comforting you in some way. If it is, then I'm doing my job. If you enjoy my content, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Until next time, peace.